So if you spent any time in the maker community, then you know Creality really well. It's a well-known name for 3D printers, and they've made some excellent ones over the years. But did you know that they've recently taken that technology that they've evolved over those years in 3D printers and they've put it into a laser? Well, they have, and this is the laser. This is the Creality CR-Laser Falcon, and this is the 10-watt version, which is brand new. Now, does it stand up to all of the excellent standards that they've set for their 3D printers over the years? Well, stick around and let's find out. How's it going, everybody? Steve here, and welcome back to the shop. Now, as I mentioned, Creality has taken all of those years of experience they've gained building 3D printers, and they've tapped into some of that technology, and they've built themselves a new diode laser. And it is this Creality CR-Laser Falcon. And they've had a 5-watt edition of it for a while now, but they've recently come out with this 10-watt version. And I know most of the people who watch the channel are more into higher power because they're trying to get their own little businesses going for the most part, or a side hustle. But I want to make sure that this laser actually meets not only the Creality standards, but the standards of people like you and I, who just want to be able to turn a laser on and have it do amazing things without a whole lot of effort. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'll do a quick unboxing, probably to a musical montage, because I really don't want you to have to sit through me pulling things out of a box and turning in screws. The assembly here honestly was really easy. It was only about 8 screws and plug a couple of cables in, and that was it. So I won't belabor you a lot of that. We'll just do it really quickly. But we'll talk a bit about the laser itself, the 10-watt laser, how it performs. We'll compare it certainly against all of the recent 10-watt lasers that I've tested. And we'll do a bit of cutting, and at the end I'll give you an assessment, and we'll see if Creality is up to the task here. So let's get started. So now that the laser's built, we'll do a quick little flyover here just to check everything out. And pretty standard belt mechanism here. Nice thing though, on the front you have an actual level. And over on the controller, you can see all the switches, all the cables are out of the way. There's nothing sitting on top. The Y-axis cable is a bit chaotic, but at least it stays out of the way. And we come over to the laser module. The mounting here is pretty standard. Note there's no focus pin here or air assist, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But that's the laser. It's pretty basic to set up. So, all right, now I'll do just a section here for people who are a little newer. We have to get the laser connected, and I'm using Lightburn, and the way to do that here is to click the devices option in Lightburn and do an import. And Creality is nice enough on their SD card that comes with the laser to provide you a device driver. So You really don't have to do anything but import that and your laser's configured, and we're ready to go here. So I did a bit of testing, and of course no laser would be decent without good results. And the CR-Laser Falcon certainly does. This is the output from it, and you can see it even at 10% power, it does a pretty good job up to about 7,000 millimeters per minute. After that, it's kind of dead. Just for comparison, if you want to look at it compared to some of the other lasers I've done, the Artur Laser Master 3, still kind of my favorite. I mentioned before the X-Tool D1 kind of drops out in the 10% column completely, and a few people have asked for the longer Array 5 comparison as well, so you can see it compares very favorably to the Falcon. Almost looks like the same laser module actually. So very good power from the Falcon certainly compared to some of these other lasers, and you can see it sits pretty much in between the D1 and the Laser Master 3. So not a bad spot to be for the money. Now next, I did a simple engraving, and I did this fairly quickly. So the lines you see, the horizontal lines, are actually grain in the wood. This is just a piece of Baltic birch or poplar that came with the laser. So you're actually seeing some grain there, but the output looks all right. Now you may notice the kind of ragged sides here, and I will have to do a bit more research because the laser itself generated the image correctly, so I'm not sure why the edges were ragged. This is entirely possibly a Lightburn issue, so don't judge the laser on that. As always, I mentioned pretty much everything I do. I engrave my logo into it, and for the Creality Falcon, this is the output. Again, same exact settings as the D1, and you can see the output here is comparable. It's actually a little bit deeper if you can run your finger over it. So, power is really good, and it looks nice on walnut. And finally, I did a cut, and this was, again, their sample, this is just 3mm Baltic birch, and a single pass, and it cut very cleanly. So there's the results. They look pretty good. All right, so we'll take a look at a couple things I really like about this laser and a couple things I think they could improve on. First, on the Pro list, the design is great here. You can really see the pedigree from the Creality 3D printer line. Just the way they design things here, it has that feel of my original Creality S10 and other Creality 3D printers that I've seen. The power curve on the laser module here it's above average, I'd say, but it's not quite, again, as good as the Laser Master 3. But again, it's better than the X-Tool D1, I would say. You're not going to get power, you're not going to get any engraving out of this thing with 10,000 millimeters per minute at 10% power, like you do with the Laser Master 3, but power comes in fairly soon after that, so you get a good context. And now at the higher end, where you have high power, 100% power, this laser actually seems to have a lot more output than the Laser Master 3, so you can see in the results there that those higher end engravings were actually fairly dark, charred, and that's a function of just there's a lot more power than the speed can deal with. So next and final on the Pro list here, it looks great. I mean, it's aside from the design being fairly solid, it just looks like a nice laser. The gray I'm actually a fan of. I've had my say about 2020 aluminum extrusion. But they've kind of found that balance between that. They only use 2020 on the side rails, and they do put a gradient on there so you can actually measure things. but on the front and back they have a more custom extrusion, and it looks really nice. Now on the con side, a couple things here. If you've seen the Creality 5-watt laser, then you've seen things like their focus pin that they have on the side, and there's also a fan and a bit of a filter on the back of the laser module to get rid of some of the heavy smoke. That isn't here, so they did kind of take a step backwards with the 10-watt module. I would kind of think it should be the other way around. The 5-watt being the lower end laser, you would think would not have those features, versus the 10-watt should have them. Next, my laser, at least my laser will say, didn't come with a USB cable. This laser takes one of the micro USB-C cables. In the Apple world, you'd recognize that as a Thunderbolt connector. It isn't included, and if you're using a typical Windows machine, you probably won't have one of those, so you may have to make sure you order one. And last on this list, surprisingly for a 10-watt laser these days, there's no air assist. It wasn't a big problem in cutting, but I think you could definitely cut cleaner and thicker material if it was there. Hopefully it's something that Creality has planned for the future. Anyway, those are the pros and cons. In summary here, I guess, would I buy one of these? For the price, yeah, this is a fantastic laser. Again, it's not top end, but it's far from the bottom too. So good middle of the pack laser. It's a good entry laser for 10 watt in the 10 watt power range. And you might want to consider it. So in the end, yeah, I would buy one of these if it was my first laser, and I want to do, a bit of cutting and a bit of engraving. It does both of those jobs adequately well, and we'll leave it at that. So with that, we can wind the video down. As always, I'll put a video up in the corner. Go watch that, and I'll see you over there. And get out there and make your world, and I'll see you next time.